So in this tutorial we're going to take a look at creating calculated fields in my dashboard. So let's take a look at the data that I've actually got returned from my query. So I've got the total number of days overdue, I've got the invoice amount, and I've got the total paid. What I actually want to show is the amount outstanding for certain thresholds of the days overdue. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create a calculated field with the amount outstanding. So in the calculated column editor I'm going to add a new calculated field, and I'm going to call this amount outstanding, and it's going to be a decimal. And then it's a fairly simple calculated field, so I'm going to do the invoice amount and then minus the total paid, and press OK. And straight away, if we look at our data set, we can see we've got our amount outstanding field. So I'll now create a second calculated field that's going to show the period overdue as a threshold. So this is going to be slightly more complicated. So I'm going to add my calculated field, and call it period overdue, and this time it's going to be a string. So to begin with, this time we'll use a function, and we're going to use the if expression and true part else false. So in the expression I'm going to use our days overdue column, and I'm going to say if days overdue is less than 30, and my true part is going to be less than 30, otherwise we'll say greater or equal to 30, and press OK. We'll leave it simple at the moment. Now let's go ahead and add an object to our chart so we can actually see what's in our new calculated fields. So I'm not interested in any invoices that don't have anything overdue, so I'm going to put a filter condition on where our amount outstanding is greater than 0. So we're only looking at invoices that actually have something overdue, and we'll use our two calculated fields, so period overdue and then the total, the amount outstanding. And quickly we can see how it's split between invoices less than 30 days overdue and greater or equal to 30 days overdue. So let's extend our period overdue calculated field to make our chart a little bit more useful. So I'm going to click on my period overdue calculated fields, and the false part, instead of just being a string, I'm going to use another if then function, and this time we'll say if days overdue is less than 90, then we'll say less than 90, and we'll put another one in. So an if then function again, if my days overdue is less than 120, and we'll say less than 120, otherwise for our last one we'll just say very late, and press OK. And then straight away we can see our chart is broken down into the different groupings. If you notice, my groups are actually in alphabetical order, which doesn't actually make sense in this particular chart. So I can double click on my chart, go to my group options, and under sorting I can use a specified order, and we'll say less than 30, less than 90, less than 120, and then very late. And there's my final chart.